Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Thank you for clicking on another video. Today I'm reviewing my Game Week 3 predictions from Friday. Apologies for no video over this weekend. I've been really burnt out with content ideas and stuff like that, so hopefully normal business will resume this week and stuff like that, obviously with the transfer window ending tomorrow. I should hopefully be able to get a video out on that and some videos out for this week as well. But let's go ahead and review my fixture, my results that I had and everything for this weekend. We start with the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday between Man City and Arsenal. I went for a comfortable 3-0 Manchester City victory, and I had that lost very early on. It ended up Man City 5, Arsenal 0, and it really did Arsenal no favours. They looked absolutely pathetic against a Man City team that, don't get me wrong, they've scored 10 goals now in 2 games, but are they at full strength? No, they are not. But they just absolutely ran riot over Arsenal and everything. Xhaka getting sent off, it is a sending off. You can't complain about that. But the way that Arsenal just played, it was just overall poor. So I get the result. I get the result right, but I don't get the score right in that. I didn't think they would potentially put 5 past Arsenal, but there you go. Villa Brentford. I'm back again with a Brentford prediction and stuff like that, and I'm back and I get one right this time. I went for a 1-1 draw, and it finished as a 1-1 draw. I was very nervous because obviously both goals came within the first 15 minutes of the game, so I was very afraid this was going to end up like 2-2, 3-3 or something like that. But they stuck it out. They finished 1-1, fair enough. Brentford's still unbeaten in the league, so, we go from there. Then my first loss, Brighton and Everton, where I went for a surprising Brighton 2-1 victory against Everton. And they didn't. If you look at, they had the share of possession. They had 65% possession to 35 in favour. They had 3 shots on target to 5 for Everton. Both teams had 14 shots each. But Everton were just the better team and stuff like that. The little bit of manicness between Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison is completely 100% on Richarlison. Calvert-Lewin is your club's penalty taker. You cannot then decide whether you win it or not that you are taking the penalty. The club have a penalty taker for a reason. You have to give it up for that. So I think it's petty from Richarlison. Hopefully he will learn, but then again, this is not the first time he's done that. Everton ran out comfortable 2-0 winners, so a firm loss for me there. And then another firm loss for me. Newcastle with Southampton. I went for a Southampton 2-0 victory. The way they played against Manchester United, they looked very promising, and Newcastle still looked very poor. It finished 2-2. I didn't see it coming and stuff like that, especially not with Newcastle potentially winning it in the 90th minute through St Maximin, only for a penalty to be given to Southampton in the 93rd minute or 90 whatever minute it ended up going through and stuff like that. 96th minute, according to the Premier League app. I didn't see it finishing in a 2-2 draw. Fair play to Newcastle. They did obviously get stung at the end of it, but if you don't defend well like that and stuff like that, then you're going to lose games and stuff, or even draw at this point. So maybe they should have earned the win, but they didn't do themselves any favours and stuff like that. A 2-2 draw is good for Southampton. It's probably not. It gets Norwich, Newcastle away and stuff like that, but firmly got that one wrong. I hold my hands up there. Norwich 0, Leicester City 2. I was very close with this because I didn't think Norwich would score. It came from a penalty though, so it's always a sort of contentious one and stuff like that. With it, whether I haven't seen the game and stuff like that, so I couldn't tell you if it was a penalty and stuff like that. But Norwich get their first goal. It keeps them 19th in the table, ahead of Arsenal because they have actually scored a goal and stuff like that. That won't be the only joke I'm making this video about that. But Leicester getting a 2-1 victory, especially after a thumping 4-1 loss away to West Ham and everything, is a good comeback for them going into the international break. We then moved to West Ham and Palace, and this one really messed me up. I felt confident that West Ham were going to absolutely batter Palace the way Palace have been playing. And, just after a 4-1 home win at Leicester, to be at home again against a London rival and stuff like that, I expected them to just go all out and just absolutely batter them. But credit to Crystal Palace, pulling off a 2-2 draw and stuff like that. Conor Gallagher, he's probably never going to play for Chelsea, but he'll do a job at any other sort of club like mid-table and below and stuff like that. And he proved that, getting him a good 2-2 draw at the end of the day. So absolutely fair play to both teams and stuff like that. I got it completely wrong and I hold my hands up again. And then one I was very close on, Liverpool and Chelsea. I said that it would be 2-2. I said it would be entertaining. And I said that there would be a controversy. Now, call me Mystic Meg. I might have not gotten the scoreline right, but I did get the fact that Salah did score. I did get the fact it was a draw, and I did say there would be a controversy, and that was the penalty. Now, look, it is contentious, yes. In the letter of the law, it is a penalty. Whether it's a sending off for a deliberate handball, I think that's very, very harsh, but it is a penalty. It does come off his arm. Whether it comes off his thigh or not, it doesn't really matter. We know the laws of football. If it strikes your arm in the penalty area as a defender, it is a penalty. The fact that it ricochets off his knee, I don't believe is deliberate. I think a yellow card should have been given, but it was still a penalty nonetheless. But, Chelsea showed how to play with 10 men after that and stuff like that. You've got Arsenal that you can't play with 11 men. Chelsea played fantastically with 10 men, and to keep that as a 1-1 draw was absolutely superb from them. So, keep both of them two unbeaten as well. But I called a controversy and I got it right. Burnley and Leeds. I confidently said that Burnley would not score in this, and I was wrong. They obviously opened the scoring with Chris Wood. And it took an 86th minute leveller from Patrick Bamford for Leeds to get that level. And I confidently said that Leeds would win 2-0. So I'll put my hands up again and say I was wrong. Burnley, I said they've now announced Cornet as well, so he could hopefully help them in their sort of quest for survival and stuff like that. They're not going to finish top of the table, top half of the table, but if he can keep them ahead of steam and stuff like that, keep them out of the relegation zone, then you know what? I could put my hands up and say Burnley aren't going to get relegated this year. I still think they're one of the ones that are favourites for it, but we move on. Tottenham and Watford. I went confident that we'd win 3-0, especially after the loss Watford had at Brighton. The fact that we had just come off the back of beating City and Wolves, and then beating Paços de Ferreira in the Conference League. It was a very dull game. Not a lot happened. Watford did brilliantly on the counter and stuff like that. They probably deserved a goal. It didn't come. Tottenham, Dele Alli missed a gilt-edged chance. Kane got denied a gilt-edged chance when it was literally at his feet. Not 30. It would literally fall straight to him, but a fantastic block from the defender. But, the goal was poor from the goalkeeping standpoint and everything. Son does what he does, just puts the ball in the box. He's not expecting it to go in. He's expecting a touch and it goes in. But it goes all the way for everyone and we score. Not the best way of scoring, but not a bad way to cap off your 200th game for Tottenham. That's that, and it puts Tottenham top of the league, which, you can't... Like I said this on Monday, West Ham were happy that they were top of the league. At top of the league at this point of the time means absolutely jack diddly squat. So... we move from there. We're top of the league going into the international break. We leave it at that. And we end it with Wolves and Manchester United. Now, I expected a thrilling game in this because Wolves were really strong against Tottenham last week and very unlucky not to get something out of it. Man United, on the other hand, were very poor at Southampton, but were very lucky to get a point out of it. I was surprised that Wolves didn't score, and I'll tell you this, from the very beginning, Wolves were absolutely on it. Traore was just... a full head of steam. Jimenez was on it. Trincao was on it. I was surprised that they didn't score at all. And I'll make a claim for yourselves right now, and this has been discussed all over the internet, especially over this weekend. If Adama Traore had an end product, he'd be the best player on the planet. Let's be honest with that. Not Ronaldo, not Messi, not Neymar, not Mbappe, not Haaland. He would be, because he absolutely bullies defenders. He's got the pace to just beat anyone. But the fact he has no end product just absolutely kills him. I mean, he goes from being a £100 million player if he can put the ball in the back of the net to quite literally being worth pennies. I'm praying Tottenham don't spend £40 million on him tomorrow on transfer deadline day, but, we've done worse and stuff like that. So, but it didn't end in a 2-2 draw. United did get the victory. A contentious one with the fact that Pogba makes a very ill-advised tackle. It's been the talk of debates over the past 24 hours and stuff like that since it happened. He does go in studs up. He does connect with the player. He does just brush his shin pad rather than actually connecting with the player fully. But the impact still hits him on the shin. I think Neves taking too long to go down is one of the reasons why Mike Dean doesn't give it, and the fact that he was right there. But I think VAR should definitely have overruled that, and it shouldn't have been a goal because you can't go in studs up. But what's the Premier League without controversy? So that was the weekend's fixtures. We now got a break now with the international fixtures, so that's going to start. I mean, internationals come at the worst times and stuff like that. The Premier League's on a roll right now, and we've now got internationals just absolutely ruining it for us. So Where do we look at the in the terms of the table and stuff like that? I mean, the table, if you're a Tottenham fan like myself, you sit pretty. We're sitting top of the league for the first time, obviously since like last September. I think about this sort of time last year, and I think we were around the top of the table and stuff like that. And yes, I know we absolutely threw it away. But 3 games, 3 wins, 3 clean sheets, and 3 goals. It's one of those things in football. You can win like City, you can win games 5-0 and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't go down to how many goals you score most of the time. It's how many wins you've got. And at the end of the season, if Tottenham and Man City were to keep going and stuff like that until they next meet, at the moment Tottenham have the advantage because of the 1-0 victory. So West Ham 2nd, Man United 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Liverpool 5th, Everton 6th, Man City in 7th. It's looking good for most teams and stuff. I mean, the 3 teams that haven't got any points at all: Wolves, Norwich, and Arsenal. For Arsenal, this is absolutely shocking. And I talked to all my Arsenal mates about this, and they are just pissed at this point. They're like, do you know what? I don't care anymore. They've been roasted by the all or nothing thing on IMDb. If you haven't looked at it before it's changed and stuff like that, go have a look at it now. Just type in all or nothing Arsenal on IMDb and just have a look at the description. It's ridiculous. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has come out on Instagram today and just said he wants to play football, and he's atted Arsenal. Is he going to get a move to Everton? Who knows? But Arsenal are in an absolute turmoil at the moment, and I don't know what's going to change for them. They've got to have a very strong... They've got to hope that people come back from injury and COVID and stuff like that after the international break, because they've got Norwich first game, so who knows what's going to happen. But I'm going to leave it there. A very entertaining weekend of football. If you like the video, obviously hit the like button down below and subscribe as well. Leave in your comments, what did you think of this weekend's fixtures? Did your team win? Did your team lose? What do we think about the transfer window tomorrow? I'm going to try and get a video out before I play football tomorrow night, so that will be the talk of transfer deadline day. So stay tuned for that. As always, I'll speak to you all in the next video. Peace.